Hello, my name is Pastor Andy Schroer from Redeemer Lutheran Church. They call it the miracle on ice. On February 22nd, 1980, at the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid, New York, a hockey team of amateur college kids from the United States faced the mighty Soviet Union, who had won the last 4 gold medals. The Soviet team was stacked with experienced professionals, some of the best players in the world. Nobody thought the U.S. could win. They were huge underdogs. But as the clock ticked down to 0 with the United States leading 4-3, the announcer Al Michaels enthusiastically asked the stunned television audience, "Do you believe in miracles?" We love to cheer for the underdog. When the underdog wins, everybody celebrates. The truth is, though, that the underdog rarely wins. I mean, there's a reason they call them the underdogs. The bigger, better team almost always beats the smaller, weaker team. In the days of the prophet Elisha, the king of Aram marched his massive army to hunt down Elisha. He surrounded the city of Dothan where Elisha was staying. Nobody could leave or enter the city. They were trapped. They were doomed. As Elisha and his servant stood on the city wall surveying the mighty army surrounding them, Elisha's servant cried out, "Oh, my Lord, what shall we do?" "Don't be afraid," the prophet answered. "Those who are with us are more than those who are with them." And then he prayed, "Oh, Lord, open his eyes so he may see." The Lord opened the servant's eyes. He looked and saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around them. In other words, God allowed Elisha's servant to see his army angels encamped all around them. God then miraculously delivered Elisha and God's people from the mighty Aram army. But Elisha's story is not an underdog story. Though it seemed like they were the underdogs, outgunned and outmanned by the mighty Aram army, the truth is that the king of Aram had no chance. Those who were with Elisha were more than those who were against him. God's army of angels surrounded them. I mean, you are never the underdog. Sometimes we feel like the underdog, like everything is going wrong, like the world is against us, like we can never win or come out on top. And that's when we need God to open our eyes to see the angel armies all around us, to see God's presence in our lives, to see Him working all things for our good. That's when we need to remember that no matter what happens to us here on earth, because of Jesus, we have an eternity waiting for us in the peace and perfection of heaven. We can't lose because we have God on our side. Ours is not a David versus Goliath story. Actually, David and Goliath wasn't even a David versus Goliath story. I mean, we always like to think that poor little David with his flimsy slingshot was the underdog against the mighty giant Goliath. But David was never the underdog. Poor Goliath really had no chance because David had God on his side. And so do you. Yes, you may struggle at times here on earth. It may seem at times like you can't win. But at those times, look through the eyes of faith. See God's army of angels all around you. See God working all things for your good. See the heaven that is waiting for you because of Jesus. You are never the underdog.